What's going on, Yamaha friends and family? Scott Newby here for another exciting episode of Yamaha Live to talk all things Yamaha, including but not limited to our proven off-road vehicles, Yamaha genuine parts and accessories, a look at how our vehicles are tested, developed, and designed to realize your adventure, and so much more. Tonight, we have a lot of great things to talk about and even unveil. First, before we jump into it, I wanted to remind everyone of the Yamaha XTR Challenge this October 1st to the 3rd. Come be a part of the fellowship, fun, and entertainment alongside the Yamaha family of vehicles and people. Register now or learn more at extremeterrainchallenge.com. Also, don't forget we're giving away a Yamaha EF2200 IS generator to one lucky viewer. If you want a chance to win, please share the live feed as well as drop some comments below to let us know what you do with such a bodacious, yes, I said it, bodacious little inverter. Now, we just got back from a few awesome trips. Last week, we ventured out to Snowshoe Mountain Resort for the Yamaha GNCC University and GNCC races over the weekend with great results on both ends. Check out all the fun and action by staying tuned to our social feeds for the great content coming out covering the occasion. Now, this is a big one, folks, so I hope I have your attention. Rewinding to earlier this month, we put everything we stand for into one media event, highlighting our reliability, durability, versatility, adventure, etc., and verified the Wolverine RMAX 1000's proven off-road prowess, further solidifying it as the class-leading recreational side-by-side by traversing the prestigious Rubicon Trail. That's right, the place known as the Mecca for extreme off-road terrain and legendary obstacles such as Big Sluice and Cadillac Hill. The Rubicon is a grueling 22-mile-long trail located out west, full of non-stop technical rock crawling stretches, boulder-filled sections, off-camber granite climbs and descents, and so much more, all to challenge driver and vehicle skills and capabilities alike. Living up to our Realize Your Adventure motto, spanning a 2-day expedition with camping on the trail at the renowned Rubicon Springs, we exemplified how the RMAX 1000 is the new benchmark for ultimate capability, comfort, and confidence in a side-by-side. With a fleet of RMAX 2 1000 LEs, RMAX 4 1000 LEs, and even standard RMAX 2 1000 models, all accessorized with Yamaha genuine parts and accessories, we successfully navigated the treacherous terrain and did so with flying colors in both directions. And I mention both directions for gravity works against you nearly the entire way, running east to west. Now, if that wasn't enough, with all the pounding and beating the vehicles took throughout the arduous trip, there wasn't a single mechanical failure in the group. Conquering the Rubicon Trail is truly a challenging endeavor due to the extreme nature of the environment, especially at the scale we took it, with 12 vehicles over 2 full days. However, with everyone at Yamaha ensuring premium quality, high performance, tremendous capability, and unmatched versatility in our products, we were not only able to become the first in the industry to claim the honor of completing the effort in this capacity, but with 0 failures after covering insanely picturesque and aggressive terrain for 2 straight days, we effectively demonstrated how the RMAX 1000 is the most proven off-road side-by-side in the market today, and we can't wait to see some of the accompanying stories and coverage our attending media members put out there. Building on that brings us to our focus for today's episode. Proven off-road and Realize Your Adventure go hand in hand, for no matter how you define or experience adventure in your vehicle, you need one that is fit for the job and, in essence, fully lives up to your expectations. And that's why we focus on having the best balance of capability, comfort, and confidence with our vehicles, all so you can realize your adventure, which of course is our lifestyle. So now, we're more or less backing up all these things by proving it, showing you what our vehicles are capable of, what they can endure, and what you can do with them. To do exactly that, tonight we're going to officially unveil a couple of concept models we built and are going to take out on some epic adventures in a variety of riding locations. Hopefully, this also inspires you to get out and experience the great outdoors in your Yamaha, as well as provide aspirations of what you can do to your Yamaha. We call these concept vehicles our AdventuRMAX models, combining 2 of what I feel are some of the best things in life: adventure and the RMAX 1000. To help me with the unveil and joining the adventure is a gentleman who is extremely well recognized and well versed in the off-road world, and you may even recognize him from a few of our product launches. Not only has he been at the pro level racing for over 27 years, but he's enjoyed and experienced all things off-road throughout his life. Riding is in his blood, just like us. And joining us live in a remote, undisclosed location, everyone, please welcome the great Johnny Gallagher. Johnny, what's going on?
Thanks, Scott.
Can you hear us?
Excited to be here and be a part of this evening.
Oh no,
also,
Johnny's gone for a second. I'm not hearing him all. Okay, he's good. So we're with him. And so, Johnny, not too long ago, we returned from a little shakedown at Windrock Park in Tennessee. Without saying too much, first impressions of the AdventuRMAX before we unveil these beautiful machines.
Amazing performance and an exciting ride. That's the best I can say. Very capable.
Awesome. Okay, so enough teasing. I'm excited to finally get these vehicles in front of y'all. So without further ado, I present to you our Yamaha AdventuRMAX concept vehicles. Boom! There we go. We did it. Here they are. The AdventuRMAX Duo. What do you guys think? Great stuff, right? Well, let's get back to the beginning and give everyone some background on how we came up with the idea and developed them. To start, we obviously wanted to showcase and highlight the RMAX 1000's capability, versatility, and performance, but also prove these attributes in a new, fun, and exciting way. Which brings us to the building concept RMAX 1000s that nearly anyone will be able to mimic and take them on some great adventures to really tell the story. As always, we relied heavily on utilizing our Yamaha Junior parts and accessories, along with sprinkling in some other great partners for an overall tough and rugged look. But we didn't want them to just look tough and rugged, we wanted them to also perform. So not building flashy vehicles that'll never hit the trail, or mall crawlers as the Jeep folks put it, but really being able to push the boundaries and fully challenge adventure, if you will. Even so much as to say, let's be able to stay out multiple nights on the trail in the AdventuRMAX. So, we dreamed and schemed up two vehicles, one of which wanted to focus on being a crew and carry, or pack mule, if you will. The other, we wanted to be self-sufficient, allowing you to tackle terrain with confidence, have key accessories such as a winch, additional lighting for low light riding, more fuel for added range on long trips, room for multiple passengers, vehicle-to-vehicle communication, navigation, and recovery kits. For the pack mule to have a lot more of those same features, yet the added room for camping equipment, tools, a cooler for food and water, onboard power, storage systems, shelter, and more. And although we'll be tweaking and adding along the way based on the trip, you're seeing the current AdventuRMAX layout. So, Johnny, let's give everyone a rundown of each, starting with the AdventuRMAX based off of the RMAX 2 1000 platform that I have here to my left. Some of the big features on it, so as you can see, it kind of has a concept ROPS with the rollover protection system with integrated rear down tubes and rear bumper. So basically that goes all around the back, added protection, everything all around. Have some custom aluminum sun tops, the cargo bed, the mounting rails. Obviously we have a bunch of stuff to throw in here because, as you know, Johnny, you can pretty much never bring too much stuff on the trail in many occasions.
Yeah, absolutely. We had the opportunity to take these machines out, as you mentioned, a few weeks back. Took them on their maiden voyage, and I got to tell you, the equipment that was chosen and the accessories that were added, really honestly, were all necessary and came in incredibly handy on our trip. Everything, like you said, obviously it's always good to be protected with that rollover protection system, and we put both of these machines through some serious challenges and felt tucked in there nice and safe. And thankfully, we didn't have to test out the rollover protection system completely, but you know it's there and keeping you safe. And the list of accessories and add-ons for these machines is long, and it's pretty impressive what we were able to come up with, or what was come up with for these vehicles. And you know, as you can see by the footage they're showing, we definitely didn't take it easy on these machines at all over the course of the few days that we had them down at Windrock in Tennessee.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It seems like we never take it easy on the vehicles, but I mean, that's another nice thing, is if we're going out for multiple days, we have so many things that can help us stay on the trail and have an enjoyable trip all along the way. I mean, The front bumper on this thing, yes, it's custom. We have the upgraded Axon winch on it as well, even with some shackles added to it, thanks to Warren. But even underneath are Yamaha genuine UHMWPE skid plates, Yamaha genuine aluminum A-arm protection, rock sliders on the side. Another thing too are these custom fuel wheels that we have too. They're all bead-locked. They have a really nice billet aluminum ring around them. And then while we're up here close in the shot, so we have the GBC TerraMaster tires. They're 3210 by 14s. Johnny, I know you're pretty much an expert in the GBC stuff, so why don't you fill in the crowd here about the GBC tires that we have?
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, the TerraMasters are the industry first non-directional asymmetrical tire, which that's just a real technical term that basically means these tires are adaptable to different conditions depending on which point of the car they're mounted on and which direction they're mounted. So they offer performance in a variety of terrains, from loose to hard pack, rock to even topsoil and everything in between. And I can say from the maiden voyage in these vehicles, it was a great pairing, these tires with this vehicle. And man, they just look so cool mounted on those custom fuel wheels. Those things are, they just glisten from a mile away. It's like a diamond. You can just see them there sparkling. And yeah, I mean, we definitely put these vehicles through their paces, and the tires held up great and gave us the grip we needed to tackle all the obstacles.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got fashion and function, both with the wheels and the tires, and the tire's such a different tread to it too, but it is so versatile, it is so great that even when we're out there, I mean, they're, 10-ply rating on them, and we're able to air down big time, and with the variety of terrain that we did on our shakedown at Windrock, it was just perfect all the way throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. And the versatility of the tire was complemented by obviously our onboard air system that we had throughout the course. These were, brand new vehicles on their maiden voyage. So we had added a lot of accessories and added a lot of capability in these machines. And as such, with any new vehicle, you're kind of tuning it as you go. So we weren't 100% certain of the tire pressures. When we started out, I think we erred and errored on the side of caution and went with a higher tire pressure, ultimately kind of airing down dramatically once we got started for a better ride quality and grip, as we were starting to do kind of a lot of rock crawling and more technical slow speed terrain. As we kind of evolved throughout the first day of adventuring with these vehicles, we realized that, man, even though these are adventure vehicles, they're still capable of getting it. We were carrying quite a bit of speed through some of the sections, and we determined it would be better if we could add a little bit of tire pressure and kind of get a more firm feel. We were actually using our options. As you know, these vehicles have the integrated D mode switch, which allows the different kind of throttle response, and also the Fox tunable suspension. And it all worked together, and we basically came to the determination that we needed a little bit firmer tire pressure. But hey, we didn't have to go back to camp. We had the onboard air system with us, and we just, it's easy to air down, but it was just as easy to air right back up. And we found that sweet spot with the tire pressure, and had the AdventuRMAXs, both units, performing flawlessly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's the nice thing too, that we have the spare tire in the back, but it doesn't have to be fully inflated. If you need to kind of let some air down, just to add that extra space if you need it, super simple to do. And then if you ever do get a pinch flat or something, you swap it out, you're able to get that air tank, pump you right back up. And the great thing about the air tank that we have too, is the power tank air system, super compact. And as you know, area is very precious in these vehicles, so the more that you can get everything smaller and more compact, the better off you're going to be, and the more of other things you can bring as well. Yeah, I mean, there was really no limit, I think, to what we could have done, even just in the very first voyage with these machines. The capability, and as we pointed out, the plethora of accessories that were added to these machines, I do think it was really cool. And I know it wasn't kind of the terminology used, but I like the idea of the one being the pack mule, or almost the chase vehicle. And I think if you look at it, it's kind of exciting. It almost has that, Dakar chase truck look to it. And but I think, honestly, the thing that impressed me the most was just how capable that pack mule is. I mean, that thing doesn't need to be left at your base camp or even left at a safer camp out on the trail. Clearly the two-seater with the larger 32-inch tires, where the four-seater concept vehicle had the 30-inch TerraMaster tires, a little bit more ground clearance. But man, as you can see from all the associated footage, that pack mule followed through a lot of places that we thought it might struggle. But with the integrated skid plates and
everything else that was on board, it just kind of chugged right along and made it with no problems at all.
Yeah, especially with putting 32s on it as well. It just really helps add that added ground clearance to it. And then with the pack mule that we do have, so another feature that we have on both these vehicles are the Rigid Adapt E-Series 40-inch light bars, as well as the rigid pod lights up front. The great thing about this Adapt series is that it goes based upon GPS speed. So the faster that you're going, the narrower the light pattern is. The slower that you go, it's going to get more wide so that we can kind of see more of the vehicle. Or excuse me, see more of the trail ahead of you. Which of course, when we had our fun day out at the Windrock, that just made it all the easier to have a nice leisurely cruise back to our camp that we had set up and everything to bask in the glory of these vehicles under the campfire.
Yeah, and I think that rigid lighting system, you know, it virtually turns dark into daylight. You know, it just extends your riding capability well into the evening. And if you're out adventuring, as we know, you know, adventure doesn't have, you're not punching a time clock when you're out trying to chase adventure. You know, if there's a trail and there's a potential opportunity to see something new and exciting, you don't want to be limited by your range, either of obviously being able to carry the things that you need, as you mentioned, to stay out for multiple days, but even to go well into the night.
Yeah, for better, for worse sometimes, right? So going into our crew and carry that we have that you mentioned, this is based off of the RMAX 41000. And again, it is our pack mule. We have so much stuff packed here. EF 2200 generator, a Pelican again for all your drinks, waters, and food that you need to. And here's even have our added roto packs, whether you want to put water, fuel, or even first aid in there if you need to as well. The spare tire as well. I mean, even so much as to the max tracks up top, if you need that added traction in some very tricky situations, but also the shovel, the pickaxe. I mean, there's pretty much everything across the board, all the way down to any emergency flares if you need them as well, to warn anyone where you are, or even if there is a hazard ahead or something too.
Yeah, and as you know, Scott, those Pelican coolers sure did come in handy. When we were in Tennessee, it was a very warm temperatures, and as we would kind of set up and get to different areas while we were out really testing these machines and putting them through their paces, we were kind of working up a little bit of a thirst ourselves. And as I said, very hot day. We were able to set up kind of a little camp there out on the trail, get those Pelican coolers out, had some nice cold waters and Gatorades and whatever it took to get ourselves rehydrated. And I think just a testament to how tough these vehicles are. They just wanted to keep going all day when we needed a break.
Yeah, right, exactly. No, but the tough thing is, like, you have so much fun in them, especially, it's weird as it sounds, like as cool as you look in these vehicles too, like I didn't want to stop, so it's like, why stop for drinks and everything? But if you do want to, we have a custom table that even comes out. So when it was that time just to chill out, drink, have some waters and everything, you pull it down, the table comes out in the back, you can make sandwiches, you can do whatever you need to. Even if you want to do that as a little workstation, if you did have to fix something or repair something, when you have that added space to where you're not dropping any bolts or nuts or anything like that on the ground. Just again, a nice little added feature that we do have on these models as well.
Yeah, and of course, as you can see by a lot of the footage. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
You know, as you can see by the footage, and I've said it multiple times, we didn't take it easy on these machines. And obviously we know how durable and capable the RMAX is, but credit to the entire build crew for these concept vehicles. Anytime you build something from scratch and take it out with no testing, you kind of expect almost to want to tweak and dial things in from there, which surely we will going forward. But these things were not only bulletproof, but the way they put these machines together, they were able to incorporate the custom build into the fit, finish, and durability of what's known to be Yamaha's proven off-road capability. And, these machines, there was no rattles, there was nothing coming loose. Everything that was added to these machines integrated almost as if it was original equipment.
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff is just bolt-on. It's not like we did a whole lot of custom work to it. I mean, a lot of it that is custom work, more or less, is just the ROPs we added to the back on it just to be able to secure more of the cargo and everything. But beyond that, I mean, again, it is mostly bolt-on aftermarket parts, or even other things that you can find and add on yourself to be able to realize your adventure, add to your adventure that you have too. And another nice thing that we did add to the rugged radios that are inside there. It's just great to have that communication system with it. It's the RDM DB dual band radio, the intercom, and as well as the communication system, not only from driver to passenger, but also from car to car as well. So you have that added convenience and comfort when you are on the trail there too. And as you mentioned too, with all the custom stuff, all this is done by Palagy Design. All the custom graphics and everything by Denny Designs, blacked out paint and everything too by Motorsports by Design, powder coated everything as well. Even our frame guards we have on the bottom. I mean, even though they have that great coating to them already, we just kind of want to give a little extra panache to it by adding that black powder coat to them. Now, as you all can see,
they looked good when they were done. You know, I think just watching these machines pull out of the trailer for the first time.
Oh yeah, no, that thing is the best part, is just unloading them out of the trailer and just see what they were like out in the daylight, because I've seen so many of the photos and videos and everything leading up to this point, and it was just good to finally see them not only loaded off the trailer, but even out there on the trail too. So now that you all see what they're outfitted with and capable of, we already have an action-packed calendar laid out for the year, but there are a few holes to fill, so we want you to tell us where we should take them. Name some great riding areas around the nation, as well as what's in your backyard. We not only want to ride with with our Yamaha family, but we'd love to experience your trails and adventures and have you see AdventuRMAX models. So don't exclude the great riding spots near you. As y'all are let's go ahead and get into the Q&A stuff here, Johnny. What do you say?
Absolutely. I'm excited to hear what people think, and happy to field and answer any questions to the best of what we can.
Cool, sounds good. Well, everyone please start dropping in questions and comments and everything in the section there. As you're all letting us know where we should go, let's go ahead and kind of fill the space here, because it does take a little bit of time for us to receive all these questions. So again, I will say we plan on bringing these bad boys to the XTR Challenge this year. And when we do, I think the biggest question is who gets to drive and who will be passenger? Last year we had WXC champ Becca Sheets in the Wolverine, so perhaps she makes a comeback in AdventuRMAX, or we could get out reigning GNCC champ Walker Fowler. I mentioned it to him at Snowshoe last week and he was down, but I'm almost thinking like he pulls an Ironman and even enters in the Grizzly class too. I mean, I don't know, Johnny, what do you think? You in?
Absolutely. I'm excited. I can't wait. It was a great event in 2019, and you know, the moment I heard about Walker potentially pulling double duty, it kind of lit a fire under me. And I think, you know, Walker obviously is a beast on the YFZ 450R, and to get out there, it's tough. Every now and again, I'm able to get a leg up on him, but I think I might have him when it comes to the experience and, you know, just the off-road proven ability that I've kind of acquired over the years. So I think I might have to do the double duty with the Grizzly and the RMAX as well, and get out there at the XTR event, and maybe we'll go head to head and see who really is the more consummate off-roader.
Right on. I'm totally down with that. That'd be a good challenge to watch out in the XTR Challenge terrain. All right, so back to the questions. I did see one that popped up here from Kevin Ray. Do these rigs use the same suspension components that the current RMAX does? Yes, they do. So these are the 32-inch tires, or excuse me, these 32-inch tires fit without any of the modifications on them. It is a stock suspension. We are going to make a couple adjustments to it, especially on the RMAX 4 base model, just so we can kind of bring that up a little bit, but otherwise completely stock all around. And it is the Quick Switch 3, the QS3 Fox shocks that are on them right now. So it's a great thing is that it's just three-way position. You have it to whatever you can simply change to front and rear, and you're good to go for whatever terrain that you do want to challenge. Any other questions we have coming up here? Or even, Johnny, any comments on the suspension too? I mean, I think that was one big thing for me is when we were out there. I mean, not only do you have the flexibility of adjusting the suspension three-way, but also with the tires, again, if you need to air down, simple to do. If you need to pump it back up with that air tank, also easy to do too.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there, Scott. I mean, suspension, obviously a lot of testing and tuning goes into all of the suspension just when it rolls off the showroom floor or off the assembly line. And when we equipped these vehicles and added things to them, I was very impressed with how well the suspension still performed with the added weight. As you mentioned, we did do some tuning along the way, but I think that was probably my biggest takeaway, having had quite a bit of time behind the wheel in the RMAX. Getting behind the wheel of the AdventuRMAX, especially the crew, the chase vehicle, it was the pack mule. I was expecting it to feel maybe a little lethargic and not quite as nimble, but man, it was like out there driving, a mountain goat, and it just kind of went wherever you wanted it to go.
Yeah, but for better or for worse, you're still right there behind me, so I probably should have just let you pass and go ahead. But no, they are extremely capable vehicles, and that's the nice thing too, is we're just kind of tweaking and refining them as we go to figure out what works best for us, and again, depending on what riding area that we are going to. I did see another question come in specifically for you, Mr. Gallagher. What's better, handlebars or steering wheels? Which, as they say, which with age comes the cage. So, I mean, is that true? I mean, are we trying to talk future here? What do you think?
Hey, you took my line. I was going to say, with age comes a cage. No, I think, honestly, that's what's great about the Yamaha lineup is obviously we've got products available and machines available for everybody from entry-level rider RMAX or RMAX 1000 and, the YXZ 1000. So there's a wide range of ATVs and side-by-sides available that fit your needs, whether your needs are racing, adventure, farm use, whatever it may be. So to answer the question, I'm a handlebar guy, always have been, but I still really enjoy the ATV. I think the freedom of kind of just being out there and, in the elements. But at the same time, I got to tell you, the more time I spend behind the wheel of the RMAX, I start to lean more and more towards just that comfort of still being able to be out adventuring, exploring. The adrenaline is still kicks when you really get on that RMAX. It's got plenty of get up and go, and it's an exciting vehicle to drive. But at the same time, I can kind of be comfortable. I'm not getting beat around quite as much as I do on the ATV.
Yeah, you can definitely, it's less body language you have to do, it's hard to kind of throw those butt whips when you're sitting behind the steering wheel as opposed on the handlebars, right?
Absolutely, but I still try.
Right, exactly, me and you both. Well, guys, thanks for the compliments here. I mean, we greatly like the fact that you appreciate the looks and everything. I mean, we definitely agree with you there. Kenny Murray's wondering, is the four-seater same length as a two-seater? So the four-seater is just a tad longer. Again, these are based off the RMAX 41000 and RMAX 21000 models. So it does have that added little length in the RMAX, or now our crew and carry, based upon the RMAX 41000 version. Romeo Barrera, roof is steel or aluminum or molded plastic. These are custom aluminum roofs that are on each of these vehicles here. And the cool thing is, so underneath, you can't see it now, but we do have the custom graphics on top, some underneath too. And then our whole plan is, as we go along on these adventures, we get to find the specific sticker to whatever riding area that we go to, slap it up there on the top. So Johnny, right now we just have Windrock, but I don't know, I think we try and figure out how many we can fit on this whole entire thing, and it'd be cool to even kind of see it wrapped around the entire vehicle, just bring this thing across the nation.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Scott. I think one of the more exciting parts of our trip to Windrock was getting to slap that Windrock sticker up underneath there on the roof. And it's kind of a badge of honor saying that the AdventuRMAX conquered Windrock, because I surely can say that I'm confident it did. We didn't avoid any of the tougher trails. It was the very first voyage, as we've said, for these machines, but we just went straight at it. And knowing what the RMAX is capable of, the AdventuRMAX 2 and the Crew and Carry both just performed even beyond the Windrock stickers on there, and say, hey, we came, we saw, we conquered.
No doubt about it. I mean, and that for me is just, with these vehicles already being durable and reliable, again, we just want to be able to provide inspiration for everyone just to see what they can do to their vehicles. Even though it looks drastically different in many aspects compared to a stock or standard RMAX 1000, whether it's the 2 or the 4, they really are a lot of just bolt-on items. So you still have that durable engine to it, the powerful engine to it, 10-year belt warranty, everything across the board there. Yeah, we have the custom front bumper, some things here and there, but you still have that great, enriching, and exciting drive that you get with the RMAX 1000s. And saw a question earlier, so they still are the standard width as the RMAX 1000 models, so no change to width at all there. Even the tires and everything, they're kind of still more compact where it's not throwing everything off. Kevin Ray, love the RMAX 1000 platform. Is the Pack Mule model capable of carrying a rooftop tent? Actually, yes, that is a plan that we do have. We don't have it on there right now, but again, we want to have those overnight stays when they're out there on the trail. So we do want to have, we want to stay out as long as we can and be comfortable along the way. So we are in the process of getting the roof tent top on there, at least having any sort of tents with us to be able to extend our adventures as long as we can. Johnny, what do you say? I mean, how long do you think you can stay out on the trail? That's a pretty long time. I mean, just silence. He was so confused on how long that it would take him and how long he'd be able to last. But when we went out to the Rubicon Trail and the RMAXs, we just stayed one night and we had such a great time while we were driving the entire time that one night wasn't enough. Like, I could have stayed out there for a week on end, and yeah, it's 22 miles long. You can span that in 2 days, 3 days, however long you want to make it, but it's just so much fun to be able to go back and forth and just to say, hey, this spot is perfect, it's awesome, let's stop, let's camp out here and just realize our adventure for the night. So I think we will kind of wrap things up here, but before we close out our show, who would like to ride with us for a few days and see the AdventuRMAX models in person? Maybe even at a beautiful resort out west if that interests you? Well, if you're a Yamaha owner, be sure you're signed up to receive our emails, for we're giving away a trip in August for you and your significant other to do exactly that. Stay tuned to your inbox for details, and if you haven't joined our mailing list already, enroll now at YamahaOutdoors.com. And that about does it for us tonight. Appreciate the time and questions. We look forward to our next live show, and we'll keep you posted on when that will be. In the meantime, please let us know what you'd like us to cover in the future. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, along with where we should take the AdventuRMAX models. And of course, don't forget to like and follow Yamaha Outdoors across all social channels, as well as subscribe to the Yamaha Outdoors podcast for everything audio. Check out our stylish apparel, Yamaha genuine accessories, and Yamalube on ShopYamaha.com, and find out more on our full proven off-road lineup at YamahaOutdoors.com. Johnny, if you're still with us, anything to close out with before we go? Don't know if we have any more, but I'm sure he's just so excited. He dropped the phone and just couldn't wait to get over here and get behind the wheel on these things. So appreciate it, everyone. Happy adventures. See you on the trails, and thanks again.